Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Laststandgamers, and welcome. So today we're talking wheels, and I'm joined here by Wizard. Wheels are just really quite neglected in Space Engineers, and there's good reason for it. With thrusters and all the varieties of them, there isn't much reason to stay stuck to the ground. But on some of the more exclusive and crazy servers that we like to play, wheels are just there to be used, but pretty damn useless, aren't they, Wizard?
Yeah, they're pretty much just used to hold weight rather than move it.
So what we've got in front of us here is one of Wizard's rovers, and we've not got any mods, anything changed in the background at the current moment in time, and we're going to talk you over wheel settings and really kind of make a suggestion to Keen of how they could make the wheels better, more playable. Now, we're not developers, we don't know what sort of impacts changing these wheels like we're going to do will actually affect, but we're going to compare them non-modded now, how Keen's got them stock, to a little mod that Wizard's put in place to give them a little bit of a spicy kick. So let's jump into the cockpit, Wizard, and we'll go over the wheel settings.
Okay.
So in here we have ourselves the wheels. So which wheel should we have a look at? Just the WH one that you've got? Oh, that's
WH.
Okay, so
yep, WH is the rover.
So are you in the main cockpit, Wizard?
Yep.
If you just start driving us forward now, take the parking brake off and start going. The first thing I really want players to notice is the wheel spin.
Okay, before I do that, setup's important on these things. Every wheel that touches the floor is just that little bit more to move the rig. So the suspension strength is too high at the moment, so I'll just drop that down. And if you look from third person view, you'll see the whole rover slowly start to...
Yeah, more contact with the ground, more friction.
Yeah, so that's about the sweet spot. So all the wheels touching the ground. Now I can get the maximum pull before we set off.
Okay.
And that's it.
Yeah, it's extremely frustrating. The speed that we're getting from these wheels, especially relevant to the size. Something we've always said is the small wheels compared to their side have so much more pull. But like these wheels are, well, some of these wheels on the left side aren't actually contacting the ground. But we're not getting any friction. We're not getting any travel. We're just getting a lot of spin. That's annoying. So here is a little bit of a demo of a base setup. Now we see this all the time. Someone wants to build the base a little bit higher, and they build some steel blocks here in front of it. Then their rover struggles to even get up it. That isn't a great situation to put yourself in.
This rover is empty, dry weight. There's nothing in here, so it should get up there. Yeah. So I got up there without too much.
Still struggles at the top there.
Well, like I said, there's nothing in here. Now, inside of this, there are 2 large cargo containers, which I would say is not unreasonable for a grid of this size. So, shall we fill them with some junk and compare?
Let's fill them with some junk. So, what's the current weight of this? Or I'll check while you fill them up, so they can see on camera. Okay. So, info at the current moment in time is physical shapes. We have got where the hell is this mass? Oh, there we go. Grid mass 473728.
You want to take it, or
no? You take it. I'm gonna have a look from outside as we go and just see if we can get back up to our base. I mean, I guess players have the same sort of issue with thrusters when they're heavily loaded, but with these size wheels, you'd expect to be able to do that. So, straight up there. So Wizard, the first thing Wizard's gonna have to do is increase the strength, just to try to get up there with his wheels. It's not looking good though. Have you got your strength up, Wiz?
Strength's going up. Oh, we've already took damage, so that's fun.
Yeah, no. Well, let's try getting up there one more time. The wheels should stretch around the damage.
So the strength is up, so that we can take the weight. Now the wheels are just spinning. Come on. We could do it.
So this is a fight that players have all the time with the rovers once they've overlaid them. Or, I mean, just got them full with a standard amount. You are not going to be moving around the map. I mean, you need to reduce the strength just to get more contact with the ground. But then if you reduce the strength too much, you're going to impact the object. So should we try that test again, but with a little modification on?
Yeah.
So we've returned and we have Wizard's little mod applied. Now, Wizard, do you want to go over what the mod actually does for the wheels?
Right, so the thinking behind the mod is to have power and torque and everything else. And the thinking behind it is basically, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So what we've done is we've massively increased the properties of the wheels so that they can basically haul huge weights if they need to and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, if the player isn't going to adjust the settings, then you're going to have problems.
So to a degree, we balance the wheels for the new properties. You might want to go into the power consumption a little bit as well.
Okay, so power consumption has been... let's see, how can I word this?
The more you use, the more it costs, would you say?
So on the power side of wheels, it's been rebalanced because on Space Engineers, usually wheels consume very little energy, which means that you don't need to worry about rovers and stuff like that gobbling up all the energy. Now, if you want to have maximum power, you're going to need to pay for it.
Right, shall we give this a test? This is a test with it unloaded. So we're expecting a good sort of jerk with acceleration going to the wheels now. Have you adjusted the wheels accordingly?
I haven't adjusted anything yet. Let's have a look. So this rover currently is set with friction at... Well, do you know what? I'll put 100% friction and power's 100%, and we'll just give you an example.
Okay.
This is overkill for this. Ready?
Let's go.
There we go.
Perfect. The things I like as well is a real sort of good acceleration. Bring it back around. Let's load up the cargo containers.
So I'm maxing out my power. So I need to add additional power, but can you see the lights flickering as I'm going up?
Well, I can't see your spotlights, but there is lights inside flickering. But yes, you can get up there and in theory, this makes the wheels more usable. Someone can return to base with a cargo haul now and actually make it back into their base. I mean, you can actually move up and down the terrain in the background and give it a bit of a drive around, Wizard.
He is nose heavy, so I'd probably want to adjust the front suspension a bit more.
There's a little demo for you as it spanks down into the ground. So with a rover like this, you'd want to adjust each individual wheel and find, well, not each, but I mean each section of wheels, so to say.
Yeah.
There we go. You can see the power flickering as well. Yeah,
so as I'm going up a hill, I mean, I tell you what, Aaron, you jump in the cockpit and watch the power bar as you drive around. Oops. Let me put the brake on so I don't roll away.
Yep, swapping it out. Okay.
I'll jump passenger seat.
So yeah, the power's flickering on the right there. So as I accelerate there, we can ask them to use less power, can't we?
Yeah, we can drop the power usage. That's not a problem.
So if we drop it to 50%, or sorry, we'll drop it to 30% and see what happens. Okay, so we can cruise around a lot more, but let's have a look when we try to get up this incline. You can see it's using more power to climb. That I really like the idea of. Hold on, let's get it back up on that hill. There we go. Still not maxing it out, but if we did have some more power on board, we could go faster up over this terrain as well, couldn't we, Wiz?
You can increase the speed if you want. The power and speed are not related, so basically you could set the speed to unlimited, but you would not be able to accelerate to that speed any quicker than the power you've got available.
It certainly is a nice change. I mean, from when we started out doing different rover bits, when we were in the first Mad Max, when people were getting stuck over little mounds, it was so frustrating. Oh no! I binned it! My whole little cockpit bar snapped off the front and rolled out. Oh, Space Engineers never fails to disappoint. So currently on the server, I think for the next 2 days we're actually running a playtest to try and see what results this brings. Will it bring lag? Will it bring unknown sort of problems? Once we've got the results, it would be nice to try and present them to Keen and see if wheels can have a slight buff, a slight upgrade to make them more usable. It would be nice to see more rovers on other servers. Yes, they can't compete in many ways to flyers, but still, they're a lovely option to be able to use. Wizard, any comments on this?
Well, I mean, it's like as you've just seen there, right? If you don't set the wheels up properly and you go crazy fast, you're going to break yourself. So it's the rover. The rover is now not the problem. It's the driver. It's the operator. The mod gives you the tools. It's up to you how you use them.
So we're on the test server, and we're going to ask some of the guys and gals what they think of the wheels before. Wheels before, guys.
Lane.
Slow, no power.
Underpowered.
Underpowered.
For the large grid.
Can't hill climb with a large grid.
Okay. So with the new wheels, what sort of things can you do that you couldn't do before?
Actually drive.
Move.
Okay.
A small slope.
Go above 30. Go up small slopes. Yeah. Void don't.
Actually, correctly navigate the terrain. Like, it's much more manageable. It's easier. You just have to play around with your settings a little bit more. You got to watch your power consumption. That's about it.
And you can, I mean, even though you guys are saying you can climb some of the hills, you still have to be quite a skilled driver to actually get up some of the more vertical surfaces. You will slip and slide off. It's not like you're glued to the mountain, you just shoot it up. But at least little mountains are less of a problem. Anything you got to add on that? What about power consumption of the new wheels?
Oh, it's way up, but it's good because you're getting more power, so therefore it's more realistic.
I feel like it's balanced well.
Yeah.
Right, okay, just a little sample there of what some of the testers are getting a feedback. Hopefully we'll combine the feedback room and send a little report to Keen and see if we can get these wheels upgraded. Very nice, a very good, nice change. Anyway, let me know what you think about wheels in the comment section below, and we will see you next time.